that time. I tried it 4 times, and on the fourth time it worked.
Oh,
All
okay,
right.
so it says it's being sent to a third
Yep,
party.
we're connected to YouTube now. We're good.
So we're broadcasting now?
Yep.
Okay. Is that why there's three participants?
No, that's because there's someone in the waiting room. So
Ah.
once I hit start webinar, then people come in.
Mhm. Okay, I see one or two. Okay. Okay. Let me try one thing. So if I share this and now I do slideshow, you can see it?
Yep, I can see your slides.
Okay.
Cool. Okay, so I can do this slide, introduce us, and then do the agenda, and then I'll turn it over to you. And whenever we get to the Q&A, then you turn it over to me, and I'll ask if there are any questions, and I'll read them, and then you can answer them.
So you want to do the agenda?
You can do the agenda if you want to.
Um, yeah,
Okay,
because then it gets me
cool.
in the flow.
Okay, sounds good.
I don't know what to do with this Zoom bar.
I can't see it.
I know, but it's in the way.
Can you drag it somewhere or no?
Well, not outside of the screen.
Hello and welcome to the NetBeez webinar. Today we will be talking about the 5 AI-powered insights and one new daily report that NetBeez is offering in version 14.5. We're going to go through the agenda and get started in just a few minutes. And if you have any questions throughout the webinar, please feel free to ask them in the chat or with the Q&A function through Zoom, and we will answer all questions at the end. Talk to you in a couple minutes. All right, we're back, and I think that we are ready to get started here. Again, thank you for attending our webinar on empowering IT with NetBeez, 5 AI-powered insights, and one new daily report, version 14.5, which will be released very soon. Today, our presenters will be myself from the marketing team and Panicos from Dev, and I will turn it over to Panico here to present the
All
webinar.
right. Thank you, Jess, for the introduction, and welcome everyone to today's webinar. So today we will be presenting a new daily report that we have developed that is specifically tailored for deployments with lots of remote worker agents. And this report will help you identify which ones of your users are having a bad experience, a bad network experience or application. We're going to see how we can apply some new techniques using AI with new LLMs that are available now everywhere. And we're going to see 5 ways where we can use the LLMs within our dashboard to provide some summaries of our data with lots of insights and information on issues that NetBeez is detecting on your network. And finally, we're going to close with what are the next steps in terms of these new features that will be coming out soon. But first, before I dive into our new daily report, I'm going to borrow a slide from a past webinar which identifies the main causes of remote worker issues. And it basically shows that 27% of issues experienced by remote workers are caused by the ISPs, internet service providers, 21% by Wi-Fi networks, and 15% from endpoint resources. So these are the three main domains that our daily report will be focusing on to provide you more insights about where your users are having issues, or where the issues your users are experiencing are being caused. So as you all know, we measure jitter and estimate the MOS score within our dashboard. So using this MOS score, wherever there is a down spike, is an indicator of where your users are having problems. So using the MOS score, we identify which users are having a poor experience with the network from all your remote worker users. So whoever has a MOS score of less than 4 for more than 10% of the time, we isolate those users and we apply some models on the different metrics we measure within NetBeez to identify which fault domain within the network is causing the bad experience. Is it endpoint resources? Is it the Wi-Fi connectivity, or the ISP performance? So once we identify the users and apply the models, the report basically includes the different agent names and labels each fault domain with a good or bad label, so that you know where to focus your attention when you're looking into these users to find out why they're having a bad experience. So let's go through each fault domain one by one. For CPU status, is pretty simple. We average the CPU utilization over the last 24 hours, and if it's over 70%, we label it as bad. Even though it's a rare occasion, if this is the case, you can be sure that the user is having a bad experience. In the Wi-Fi metrics side, we measure things like signal strength, link quality, and also the number of connections and disconnections. When we have noticed that users that have a lot of connection disconnection events, usually the router has a problem, so we factor that in to our model. So we apply a model for each one of these different metrics: signal strength, link quality, packet loss, and reconnections, normalize them, and to calculate the health score. So 40% is the signal strength, 30% on the link quality, 20% of the packet loss, and 1% of the reconnection attempts. If this health score is less than 50, then we label the Wi-Fi domain as being bad for the user. And then finally, for the ISP, we have set up, we have periodic tests running on your users, on your remote worker agents, and with default alerting for when the download speed is less than 25 megabits and the upload speed is less than 3 megabits, and 10%, more than 10% of the time these measurements are triggering an alert, then we mark this domain for the agent as bad. Now, of course, these alerting parameters are tunable, and you can also tune them yourselves, and this will apply to this report. So on top of the remote worker agents, where we identify which ones are having a bad experience, as part of this report, we also provide a performance of the targets using 24 averages over 3 main metrics: well, 6 actually. So for ping, we have the average round trip time and the packet loss, percentage of packet loss. For DNS, we have the resolution time plus the DNS failures, and for HTTP, the response time plus the failures, comparing those to the previous period to give a trend indicator. And we also display how much time this target was identifying in an incident and the number of incidents. So all in all, this is how the full report would look like, where the header, the top part, shows you how many remote worker agents you have managed in your dashboard and how many are experiencing the low VoIP MOS score. Then the agents table and all your targets with all the metrics for each one of them. So that concludes our daily report. And now we're moving on to our new AI summaries feature, trying to understand how AI can help our users with understanding the data and the information shown in NetBeez. As you all know, LLMs are very good at identifying patterns within text. So what we want to do here is compile NetBeez data into a text as a payload and push that into an LLM on demand, basically, whenever you decide to do that. And that can give us things like incident summarization, some root cause analysis and correlation of different aspects of the data, some actionable recommendations, and contextual insights between entities, different entities like agents, targets, and so on. And also enhanced data interpretation and communication, where you as the domain expert can look at the summary, add your own expertise into the summary, and share that with your team to better understand how you can resolve issues that happen in your network. So this will come out as a free beta version in production starting next week. And the way this would work is that we have a system prompt depending on where you choose to compile the data, plus the payload of the data that is that you're choosing to send, which we will look in the next slides, and goes through an AWS gateway we set up to OpenAI's API. And in the initial release, we're going to be using the GPT-4o mini model, but that's again subject to change since this is a feature that we want to iterate on, get your feedback, and understand how we can improve it. So first, we have the alert summaries, which is probably the one that combines data from everywhere, since it's available through the alerts tab. So you would filter your alerts as usual from the alerts tab. For example, you set a time period. You could select which agents you want to analyze alerts on, or which targets, and so on. All the filters apply. And then once you click on this brain icon on the toolbar, that will compile a payload of up to 1,800 alerts. And combined with the prompt that we have in the backend, it will give you an analysis of what the LLM sees, and generally will provide some notable issues that it identifies from combinations of alerts or clusters of alerts that it identifies. It will try to give you a root cause analysis as well as a recommendation on how you can resolve these issues. As you can see here, you have also a copy item to copy to clipboard icon So you can copy this and paste it in a separate document where you can use it to collaborate with your team and easier to read and understand. Now, please note that once you close this window, the summary goes away. We don't save it at this point. But again, if this is something you want to see historical on how it's been used and so on, we can definitely use your recommendations to develop to further develop this feature. Now, next we have incident summary. So when you open an incident within the dashboard, when you click on an incident in the incidents timeline, you get these incident details, and the brain icon will be displayed next to the X button. So all the incident details are compiled with all the related alerts that triggered that incident, and those, along with the prompt, will be pushed to the LLM, and the LLM will provide an incident overview, key alerts that triggered the incident, and then possible solutions on how you can resolve the incident. Next, we have summaries on the agents. So any agent you open the agent details on, the familiar view here, you will have the brain icon next to the agent settings. And this will package together all the agent details, the current state of the agent, along with alerts from the last 24 hours. And this will provide you with summaries of what incidents it identifies through all the alerts, potential causes, and recommended solutions. Then target summaries, similar to agent summaries, it will provide the target details along with all the alerts that have been identified in the last 24 hours. And it will provide, again, a summary of incidents, potential causes, as well as recommended solutions. And then finally, on Wi-Fi connection summaries, this is still a work in progress, but it will be available next week. In the Wi-Fi network details, if you click on the brain icon, it will go and it will compile a payload of all the failed connection attempts from the last 24 hours, along with the WPA supplicant logs and DHCP logs from each failed attempt. And the LLM will provide information about reasons why the connection attempt has failed, based on this WPA supplicant logs. So instead of having to sift through hundreds of logs, you would be able to get some insights from these summaries. So what's next? Well, first of all, releasing this with 14.5 next week. And then based on your feedback on the daily reports, we will be tuning perhaps the thresholds that we have on identifying which users are having bad experience. And then on the AI summary side, we will be tuning the prompts to make the information provided even better. We will be adding more data in the payloads, adding more summary types to the dashboard and the APIs. And, upon your demand, we can also add the ability to use your own private LLMs. And we will also be trying different LLMs with different context windows to be able to combine even more NetBeez data into the requests, so we can get more meaningful insights and with more information. So yeah, that concludes my presentation. If you want to get a 14 days free trial, you can request that on our dashboard. And I'll hand it over to Jess.
Thank you very much. A lot of exciting features coming out for NetBeez. Yeah, like Nico said, if you want to try NetBeez free, you can request it at this link. If you have any questions, which it appears no one has questions right now, you can ask them on our website through our chat, or you can request a demo and then you can see any part of the dashboard that you would like live through a demo. So thank you so much for attending the webinar today. We will send a follow-up email. If you missed any part of it, then you will have the recording. And I think that's all that we have today. Thank you so
All right.
much.